In the studio is our international affairs editor, Douglas Herbert. Douglas, Tunisia is the only Arab Spring country to have completed its transition to democracy relatively peacefully, and now this has happened.
Yeah, now this, it's true. Tunisia has made great strides on the political front, putting into place all the institutions of a democracy, making that transition from dictatorship. This is where the Arab uprisings all began in late 2010. Ben Ali was overthrown, their dictator, in 2011. And in the 4 years since then, they've set up a multi-party government with both Islamists and secular parties in power and other parties, which is unseen throughout the rest of the region. But to talk about the success of the political transition to date is to ignore the fact that the security situation, and this is not something the government denies, it's very much aware of it, has remained very, very much on edge and precarious. Why? Because as we just heard our correspondent there telling us, there remains within Tunisia itself. You don't have to go outside the borders. Yes, it's chaotic in Libya to the east. Yes, there have been militant clashes along the western mountain border with Algeria. But within Tunisia itself, there has been a low level, if you want to call it that, insurgency, and not so low level as we see in incidents like this right on the doorstep of the parliament building. Basically, Tunisia is the country from which thousands, the figure people are putting on is about 3,000 homegrown jihadist militants have gone from Tunisia to go fight in Iraq and Syria. And as we always talk about here, unknown numbers of them, the fear always being, will they come back? Will they become then the breeding grounds, the cells to launch attacks within Tunisia itself? Now, like we know, we have no information at this point who these people are. You said rightly, there are no claims of responsibility at this hour. But with the perhaps speculation being that these are people who were based within Tunisia itself. There are many groups that have arisen since 2011, including them, obviously, Ansar al-Sharia, which is one of the better, more notorious groups, if you want to call it that. It's on the blacklist as a terrorist organization of both the U.S. and Europe.
Doug, I just wanted to comment on these images that are coming into us from Tunis. What we're seeing here is images coming in from around the compound where the Tunisian parliament is, where the museum that was stormed by militants is. I understand that these images coming into us from near the hospital. Now, our correspondent was telling us that at least 9 people have been injured. We've got 8 people confirmed dead, including several European nationals.